Okay, I just got finished watching the newest episode of Demon Slayer, and this is just going to be my initial thoughts and reaction. We also got some breaking news about the final episode of this season, so stay tuned in this video, and I'm going to kind of share some details with it that we're going to talk about and discuss a tidbit of the future of Demon Slayer. But I had to just turn the camera on. I literally just got done watching it. I did not prepare anything. That was one of the greatest pieces of anime, anything I have ever watched. I'm gonna take my hood off, I'm hot. Okay, there are certain things that you watch in anime that you enjoy it for either the story, the pacing of the episode, the animation, how it kind of completes itself. This episode of Demon Slayer had everything. The beginning with the interaction of Upper Six and Tanjiro was so intense. I read the manga, so I knew it was going to happen. I didn't know they were going to do it that well. That they made it so emotional and so impactful and so tense that you were actually nervous. I knew what was going to happen, and I was still nervous. The animation of the final moments of everybody fighting the two demons and cutting their heads off. I'm getting ahead of myself, but that animation in that episode of Demon Slayer was some of the best animated material of any anime episode I have ever seen. I did not think anything could top how wonderfully done the Mugen Train movie was in that experience in the theater. Watching this newest episode of Demon Slayer competed with that, but it outdid going to see a full-length movie in a theater and that whole experience. That's how well they did this. The way they did it was an 11 out of 10 easily, and that was hands down one of the best animated episodes of anything I have ever watched. With each reaction of all the characters kind of getting back up to help Tanjiro behead the demons, with Tenjin, Zenitsu, and Inosuke all coming back to help Tanjiro finish the job. Each time somebody came back up, I jumped out of my seat. They did it so masterfully, so well done. And obviously the animation was well done, but there's the scene where Tenjin is fighting Upper Six and Tanjiro's kind of coming in behind him, and that whole section in the middle of the episode where there's the kind of like panned out view of Tenjin fighting the demon, and they're kind of going through the cityscape, and you just see all the fire and the sparks from their swords hitting and the different colors. I can't believe how well done this looks. There's just something the way that Ufotable can mix the CG with normal animation to make it just feel so atmospheric and so different than anything I've ever watched before. And I don't really know how to explain it because I'm not an animator, but just as somebody who's watched a lot of anime and seen a lot of impressive animation, that's in a league of its own. When you watch that episode of Demon Slayer, that's why people love Demon Slayer. The story is really good, but the animation and the way Ufotable Studios takes it to the literal stratosphere of hype levels is exactly why this series is as popular it is. Well done, Ufotable. Thank you so much. That was so enjoyable to watch. I cannot wait for next week. Speaking of next week's episode, I told you I was going to have a little bit of news for this video. Next week's episode is going to be the final episode of the Entertainment District arc. Next week's episode is going to be 45 minutes long. And with the cliffhanger that they left us at the end of this episode of this week, there's a lot they got to unpack. So I'm really excited that they're doing a longer episode to get us into the next arc of Demon Slayer, which we can talk about in a separate video. I sort of have some ideas about how they're going to do this next arc. And if you guys have any ideas on that as well, make sure down in the comment section, let me know. I'd really appreciate it. But again, next week's episode of Demon Slayer is going to be 45 minutes long. They're going to be able to finish out this arc of the story and get us into what's coming next. Okay, I'm going to get out of here. Peace.